Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and we'll see if I'm a bit slow in the head this morning. Last night I was at the annual Magpie party for the crossword magazine Simon and I founded 22 years ago, and it's still going, which is great. And we had a very nice evening in a pub in London, but I found that the room that we'd used was the only soft drink they had was something I didn't really like. I won't name the brand, but that made me move on to Guinness, as I described it to someone, and we'll see how I do today. Stop worrying about your own little concerns, Mark. Anyway, I'm going to be looking at a puzzle that is not a Sudoku today. It is a Suguru, and that's a form of puzzle that I do like. I'll go through the rules in a minute, but I'm looking forward to it. Don't forget that, what have we got? We've got all of our apps. They don't feature pencil puzzles, but they do feature a lot of different Sudoku, including Arrow Sudoku, Thermo Sudoku, Sandwich Sudoku, etc. And the latest Fog of War Sudoku. We've got merchandise, we've got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. We've also got, of course, Patreon, where there's loads of extra content, including a series going up, the second one today, of the solution videos to last month's Hobbit prize Sudoku hunt by Blobs, which was brilliant. What was tough in it, though, was a puzzle called Lake Town, and I was trying to sort of, not speed run, but take on all the puzzles one after the other, and the first video went really well, and I got 7 puzzles done in 2 and a bit hours. Not too bad at all. Anyway, this all came to a grinding halt in video 2, where the third puzzle was Lake Town, and you can watch the results if you want. If you're a $3 patron or above, if you're a $2 patron even, you could have played Blobs' Hunt. And we are going to be featuring from the 1st of February, Are You My Mama by the PBN Institute, which includes Panthera and The Asylum, as you know, and J-Leb is in it now, and 1 or 2 others. And it's Japanese sums, but it's with a twist, I can assure you. It's very different. Well, yeah, the rules are very different from the last Japanese sums pack we brought you, and there are liar clues in the puzzles. That's all I will say for now, but join us by February the 1st on Patreon to have a go at that. There's other content on Patreon, connections and crossword videos, etc. Now, what else have we got going on? That's probably it for now. I'm going to talk about the rules of this puzzle. It's called Build It Yourself Suguru. It's a debut by Nikki R, who's very welcome. And the rules are, so it's not a Sudoku. Forget about 1 to 9. In each region of the grid, insert the numbers 1 to n, where n is the size of that region. So n could obviously be 10 or 30. Orthogonally adjacent and diagonally adjacent cells cannot contain the same digit. And this is absolutely standard in Suguru. It's basically a king's move rule everywhere in the whole puzzle. But I mean, this is a full king's move rule. Normally in a Sudoku, a king's move rule implies only the diagonal thing matters. But in this puzzle, those two can't both be 1s. But each row can have plenty of 1s. They just can't be next to each other or touching another 1 diagonally. So just to give you an idea, we might have in a regular Suguru, I don't know how this is going to prove, we might have regions like that. And if this digit was a 1, it would tell you that the digit in this thing that was a 1 had to be there, so it wouldn't touch. That's, you know, the basic technique of regular Suguru. For this puzzle, the regions must be determined by the solver. Some lines separating regions have been drawn. Inequality signs between 2 adjacent cells specify which cell has the larger number. There are no 5s in the completed grid. That's it. That is a phenomenally minimal rule set for an empty grid like this on Seguru, I would have thought. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. There are no 5s in the completed grid as a real kicker at the end. Let's see what happens. Give it a try on that first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. I think we've just got to think about that. There are no 5s. Right. There are no areas. You know that area that I just drew that was 5 big? That can't exist in this puzzle, and nothing bigger than that. I see, the grid is populated. Yeah, because any area that was bigger than a 5 would have to have 1 to n, and one of those numbers would have to be a 5. That can't happen. 4 is the maximum size in this region. And the grid is therefore populated with all 1 to 4s. I mean, I could do that. That would be, I guess, the full extent of Goodliffing the grid that was possible. I'm not going to do that. So no region is bigger than 4 cells. Obviously, we can have smaller regions. So there might even be a region of size 1. But that would be quite difficult to bound now. Say that was a 1. Everything around it would have to be 2, 3, 4. So that would have to be a run of 2, 3, 4. So would that, so would that, so would that. I don't know, it's just... it feels very limiting. I think maybe all one can do... the inequality, like, how are we going to determine the numbers in this puzzle? We've got 3 inequality signs. I can almost, I suppose the numbers are going to be determined by the shape, by how big the shapes are. So as soon as you find a 1 or a 2 or a 3, you know what number's in it. Wow, I mean, it's weird, isn't it? So the only thing I can think of doing is colouring regions. So this has, well, no, it doesn't have to get out. It could be a 1. They can't both be 1s because they would be touching. So of these 2 cells, one of them has to get out. Well, that could be. Oh, hang on. I was just starting to think that if that was a 1, these digits would have to be 2, 3, and 4. Could this be a region, though? Because... oh, right. Hang on. Every 2 by 2. It's got to have all 4 digits in. Because each of these cells in this area I've just highlighted touches each other. So none of them can be the same as each other. Ah! Look. You could divide this grid into 2 by 2s. How it's 10 by 10, isn't it, the grid? Oh, that's so interesting. I've got a big old holistic deduction now. If you divided this grid into 2 by 2 areas, every single one of them has to contain the digits 1, 2, 3, 4. Because we're not allowed 5s and they must be different within each 2 by 2. Oh, that is mental. Okay, so that is telling us that this grid of 100 cells contains 25 1s, 25 2s, 25 3s, and 25 4s. And those 25 4s specifically are telling us that there are 25 regions with a 4 in that are 4 big, and they occupy the whole puzzle. Every region in this puzzle is 4 cells big. If you saw that in a minute, hats off to you. Every region in this puzzle is 4 big. Now I can draw a couple of regions. Let's call that one, well, let's use a colour you can definitely see. Blue there. Some people say the light blue can't be seen. Let's make that orange. This now has to get out. It's at least going to there. I mean, Oh, I thought this was going to proliferate through the grid. It's done nothing else. Well, this is a different region because there's a barrier. I think the few barriers that we're given may be powerful, but it's tricky, isn't it? Where does this go? Does it go to there? Okay, maybe it is worth starting to label the cells. So, let's give this a try. I don't know. A, B, C, D. Then this digit. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, I can label this digit because it sees D and A in its region and C by King's move. So that's a B. And then orange needs to be completed with a C. So that's got to go there. It mustn't touch the other C. So I can draw the debris around that region, the border. This pair is a DA pair, isn't it? What? Oh, this sees C, B, and D. It doesn't matter what region it's in, it's an A. Then this sees C, B, and A. That's a D. Am I going to be able to populate the grid like this? That's weird. Well, this pair is a BC pair because they're touching DA. Now that can't be A because it's touching A, so that's D. This is touching C. I might be able to at least go down these columns and do this. Let me see if this keeps going. This is a BC pair. Yeah, and that can't be B because it would touch. I can. This is bizarre. This pair is an AD pair. This is a BC pair. And I know the order because one of them would touch that. This is an AD pair. So that's the principle. What I'm now getting is a repeated pattern of A blank A blank A and B blank B blank B. I think obviously that is going to continue. This is BC, yeah. I'm literally just checking it from first principles each row before I write it in. But I think it is a write-in. This is so strange. What's happening here? C, B. I mean, if you looked at the rule set of this puzzle and thought something like this might occur, you're a wizard. Now, can I extend that into this column? That is my next question. It might be significant that I've hit one of the inequalities here. I think I definitely started in the right place for the puzzle, although this stepping of barriers looks quite interesting too. But let's have a think. Now, maybe I can draw some regions actually. This BC. Okay, where's this blue region going to get its A? It's not allowed that one, so it's got to get it there. But it could take that D instead of that one. If it did, this A would come out here to a B. It would have to turn to a C. Then it would have to take that D. Oh, that pattern would get repeated down the grid. And that would break at the bottom. You'd get that, impossible. Let me just show you what I'm seeing there. If this blue was a T tetromino, this green would go like that. This would fit in very, and it would yeah, let me just explain. Sorry, I said it once, but I want to get it clear in my mind as well as yours. This area needs a D. Every region is made up of A, B, C, D. This area needs a D, and it's got A, C, B. It can easily take that D, and I think I'm going to prove that it does. Because if it took that D instead, this region would have to grow out that way. It would then not be able to go down here because that would repeat a digit. So it would go there, and then to get the D, it would go there. And you can mimic that for every region going down here. But you'll get stuck at the bottom. This is impossible. You can't find a D. So that's not what's happening. And therefore, that is not the blue D. That is the blue D. And I can draw another border around. Now, I'm wondering if that was generated by this given border, or if I can do this throughout. I'm not sure now. Why couldn't I have a 2 by 2 here? With maybe a 2 by 2 here? Oh, come on. Okay, here's my next thought. This column is entirely populated by A's and B's. Every cell in it touches both a C and a D. So this column is going to be either BA, 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 BA until I've got to 10 characters, or ABA, BAB, etc. And then every pair of those is going to be an AB pair. So these two are going to have to be CD. That's going to apply down this whole column. Now I can I can repeat that for every column to the left of the grid. So this is going to be made up of ABs because every domino here is a CD domino and must be faced off with an AB domino, etc. This is so strange, this puzzle. This is not what I was expecting from a Suguru. So those are all C's and D's. Okay. Now maybe the shapes are going to determine which letter is which, but I don't know how. Okay, here's another one. Is there a generic reason that you can't have T and S tetrominoes, by which I mean shapes like that, which theoretically that shape has the ABDC, but then this doesn't work. And this shape has ABDC, ABCD, but we worked out that that breaks eventually because of the replication. Now, there are two other shapes that are possible. And they are 4 by 1. And by the way, only horizontal 4 by 1. Look at all the columns here. You could never have a 4 by 1 in a column because it would have 2 repeats in it, in any column. So a horizontal 4 by 1 is possible, but I think 2 by 2, well, I know I'm not going to populate the whole grid with horizontal 4 by 1s because I couldn't even complete row 1 with horizontal 4 by 1s. So there must be some variation in shapes. Now, what I need to do is actually prove somehow that T and S pentominoes, oh, and L, I'd forgotten L pentominoes. What I need to do, I don't think L pentominoes are possible. Here's why. Oh, that's beautiful. They're not. Here's why. An L pentomino, by the way, looks like that. It's 3 cells along and then a sort of nice smooth cell away. Now, that can't be 1 because it would have 2 B's in. That is going to be the same for every horizontal strut L pentomino. So what I mean is if it's lying with the 3 cells in a row, they're fine, but then when you dip into the column for another letter, you're going to be repeating this one. In fact, they may not be fine. If that's a B, that's already broken. But my point is, if we went this way, that's a B, and one of those two is definitely a B because that's an AB pair. There is literally no way you could do a horizontal L. A vertical L is instantly ruled out because you'd immediately hit 2 of the same letter in the vertical strut. So L is impossible, right. Now the annoying thing is that you can find T's that work. So what I want to do now is come up with a reason why. Okay, T's will never work with a vertical 3-bar piece, obviously, because it would have 2 of the same letter in. So they'd have to be horizontal T's. Well, I mean, I think it's a tiling issue, actually, more than anything else. If you did put a horizontal T in, you're always going to have sort of an odd number left over. You're going to have to connect this to something. Imagine that this is a region. I'm going to have to connect this to a B, C, and D. And yeah, sure, I can do it with a 2 by 2. If the grid extended, I could do it with a 4 by 1. But I'm always going to have bits left over. And if I can't put in vertical T's, and I don't think I can put in S's, but I'll have a think about that in a moment as well, then I don't think this... You can never complete the tessellation, is what I'm trying to say. Is that clear? I don't know. It's clear to me, I think. Maybe I ought to try and find a neater proof that T's and S's won't work. I mean, I quite like this thing where this T forced S's all the way down here and they broke at the bottom. But is there an actual proof of it? And the S's, well, they can't run like that over this side. When we got over here, maybe they could. But again, they're just leaving odd cells or odd numbers of cells out. And if you can't put in verticals and horizontals, you can never tidy up the tessellation. This is the point. This tessellation is going to have to be rectilinear. I think that's the word. Because otherwise you cannot complete it. And that is clearly impossible because of what happens down the grid. I think that must be impossible as well because, I mean, then you could have that 2 by 2 and this T. But you just, again, you're stuck. You cannot complete once you've done this. And I think that's true to say over this side, however these letters pan out, even though we can have some variation in A, B, D, C. Yeah, I think this is fair enough. If you can characterize the proof that this is fully rectilinear and that we're only having 4 by 1 horizontal cages and 2 by 2 cages, please do so in the comments. I think it's proved by example. But it's going to make the population of this grid very interesting. It's also going to mean, and this is very important, and I am going to move on now. I'm going to move on. It's going to mean that every shape in this grid is made up of, every region is made up of 2 horizontal dominoes, either side by side or on top of each other. And therefore, in a way, I could split up the grid into horizontal dominoes and then try and join them together. I'm actually going to do that. This may be manic, but I'm going to give it a go. Oh, I was going to say, I bet we find that these greater than signs are all either within dominoes or between them. That's not what we're finding. Never mind. This conclusion is still right. So let's make all of those green. It's a bit pointless to colour all of these, but I'm still going to do it. And all of these purple. And now we have to join up all the greens and purples into 4-cell regions. And we might find, certainly over this side of the grid, we are going to find that whatever we join up into a region is going to fulfill A, B, C, D. It just has to. Over here, it's less clear because we may change the order of A, B. Anyway, we have some barriers in the grid to give us clues. Okay, so we've got this barrier down here. That's telling me that in this group, we have one horizontal 4x1 and one 2x2. No, it's not. It could be 3 horizontal 4x1s. It's not telling me that. But this up here, I don't know. Oh, maybe I haven't actually advanced much now. Obviously, this domino is in a 4x1 horizontal because it can't be in a 2x2. What does that mean? Oh gosh, I don't know. It's weird. Is there, I don't know, is there some... Honestly, I think I've made 2 major deductions in this puzzle, and I haven't really learned enough to get going at all. It's so strange. There must be a 2, at least... No, these could all be horizontal, so I don't know where I'm getting my idea. Oh, well, there must... This is in a 2x2, and that's in a 2x2. But I don't know whether they go down or up. So, okay, in this group of cells, there are 2 2x2s and the start of one. That can't be the start. Yes, it could, though. Oh, we could have that and that. Okay, I can't get anything limited at all. I'm thinking about this the wrong way. What on earth? Maybe I should take out... No, I quite like this pattern of cells. Maybe I should have done it with lines connecting the dominoes instead. Or is there actually some thinking I can do at the moment about the letters A, B, C, D and how they fit together? Sorry, I'm having a bad moment here where I don't know what to do. Or adding up the whole number of cells. Yes, this, I mean, that's quite important. There must be a 2x2, at least one of, well, there must, okay, these 6 cells, 4 of them are in a 4x1 and 1 of them is in a 2x2. We know there's a 4x1 because of this barrier. We know there's a 2x2 because there's exactly 6 cells there. So we're going to get 1 4x1 and 1 2x2 there. Then once you have 2 rows, you could have an exact, in fact, it could be like that and that and that. Then you can close them off. After 5 rows, you cannot close off. You need to have one shape that is dipping into the next column, the next row. You need to have one shape that is dipping down its columns into the next row. And it can't be this pair, and it can't be this pair. You might have 3 shapes that are dipping down to get the number count right. But is that possible? Could that be a region, and that be a region, and that be a region? And I think the answer is no. But now I'm not sure. I can't work this out at all. Oh, I can't even see that there might be a way of disambiguating this whole puzzle. It feels really not enough to me at this point. What is going on? Sorry, I know this is dull, but there must be a way through it, and I don't understand what I'm meant to be looking for. I really don't. Okay, let's try and continue that thought about this row, for instance, must have at least one 4x1, but it must also have at least one 2x2. No, I don't know. Something is going on here. It's so annoying to have found these shapes and not be able to continue. Do I actually? I can't. There's no point thinking about the numbers. Letters are as good as numbers at this point. If that was a 2x2, that would be a 4x1. Then you'd have 2x2s there, and this would be a 4x1. You'd have 2x2s there and there. I mean, it would all populate. You'd have another one there. That would be a 4x1. That would be a 4x1. You'd have to get out through the middle. That's really, really interesting. That was all just done off speculating about that being the 4x1 in the top. So if that's the 4x1, I don't think it works so well this way around. That's a 2x2. Now there is variety available, annoyingly. Although, I don't know, maybe not so much as I thought. Oh! Count the purples and greens. Right. In these top 5 rows, there's obviously the same number of purples as greens in each complete region. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11 greens and there are 10 purples. So a green from this region I've got highlighted, a green pair needs to connect with a purple pair in the below region. And that must happen in the middle, and that is a 2x2. Wow, that's bonkers. Well, it's lucky that about 15 minutes ago I coloured the greens and purples, otherwise I don't see how I'd have seen that. Now I've got this region formed. That has to be a 4x1. Come on, is this going to proliferate? I don't know. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. I want it to. I mean, it's a really interesting deduction. No, hang on, that deduction goes further. Doesn't it mean... What have I got left up here? Does it mean... I don't know the answer to this now. Here's a question. Like a bad barrister, I'm asking a question, I don't know what the answer is going to be. Does it mean that purple can't connect to green because in this region that I've highlighted, purple must always connect to a green within the region? And actually, I think it does. These greens can't connect down to purples below them because of the barriers. So each of those takes a purple from within this area, and every other green in this area takes a purple within this area. I believe this area has an equal number of greens and purples at the moment. It does. And therefore, I can draw borders along the bottom of this because the purples are only allowed to touch greens in this area. That's so strange. This puzzle is incredible, incredibly weird. Now that's a 4x1, that's a 2x2, that's a 4x1. I want to say this is a 2x2. I don't know that. I can't say that. Oh, this is in a, oh, look, we've got, I don't know. This cell is in a 2x2, but it could be like that with a 4x1 below and above. Yeah, I don't know that I can even complete the tiling in the north part. I was more worried about the south part. Ah, but this has done something with letters, hasn't it? This is now a BCAD. And that means I can take B out of that. Sorry, I'm trying to do. Oh, now I've put a silly mark in it. I can take B out of this cell because it's apparently I can't. Apparently I can't do anything. I'm hitting the B letter. Okay, I'll do it with the number pad there. No, there. Okay. Sorry, that took a ridiculous length of time. I can take B out of there, and that means I can take A out of those two, and it basically means I can populate this whole column because they have to alternate. So I'm going to do that. A in the greens and B in the purples. And similarly, this has become a D, so all the greens in this column will be D, and all the purples in this column will be C. And now have I reached across at all? No, I haven't reached across into column 3. Oh, that into column 4. That is really, really, really annoying. Oh, goodness. Oh, look. C is bigger than A. So here C can't be smaller than A. Oh, that's amazing. C is bigger than A. So C mustn't be smaller than A as well, because that would be an inconsistent world. So that is not A. And that reaches into column 4. Now I can do all the colours here. They're all B. And they're all A. And does that let me populate shapes? Yes, look, it does. This can't go across there or it would have 2 Bs. Oh, this is mad. What a puzzle is going on before our eyes today. That's a 2x2, that's a 2x2, and they are obviously 2x2s. And I have tiled the north part. Now, I haven't been able to take the lettering into columns 3, 2, 1. And now I'm starting to wonder, well, hang on. Maybe I can get to this. C is bigger than A, but B is bigger than C. If that's a C, this has to be an A. I don't know. I don't think I can get to that. Oh, man, this puzzle is doing my head in. Doing my head in. Can I tile this bottom part? Do I need to? I do need to. I think I need to establish all these relationships before I can do the numbers. I mean, yes, I know that B is bigger than, B is 4 or 3, C is 3 or 2, A is 2 or 1. I mean, I know that, but I don't see how that helps me with anything yet. No, it does. It actually does. B is 4 or 3, C is 3 or 2, A is 2 or 1. So this cell is either a B, which is 3 or 4. Oh no, it doesn't get this done. Or an A, which is 2 or 1. So it seems much more likely to be an A, but it doesn't have to be an A, because D could be 4 and B could be 3. And that, since that's possible, that's probably what is going to happen. It doesn't actually help at this stage. I've got to do the tiling of the bottom half somehow. And like, this bit is so empty of marks, I don't know how we're ever going to get this done, but something down here in this step of lines must be telling me. So that's clearly part of a 2 by 2. If it goes down, that's a 1, then that becomes a 1, that's a 1, that's a 2. Oh, maybe there's something holistic about greens and purples again. Oh, goodness. I was so bad at seeing what that was in the top half. I mean, we must already have the southern half. It clearly already includes exactly as many purples as greens. But there must be a maybe there's a segment of it where combining the purples with greens, yeah, look at this. Yes, this is it. In this area, there are 5 greens and 5 purples. None of these greens can get out of that area because they can't get through these. Oh no, this one could. This one, okay, I was wrong. That one and that one can't. Well, this one either goes with that area, in which case that's a group, or it goes with that area. I thought I was about to make that a 2 by 4 region. I can't do it. Okay, let's think about this again though. We've got this 5 by 4 region. The only way a green could pair with a purple that wasn't here would be there. And that's the only way one of these purples could get out. So only one of these purples max can get out and join these. In fact, if that is a region, let's do it with some markings. If that was a region, that's a region, that's a region, that's a region, that's a region. It's very delineating, isn't it? You get quite a bit done, but that was all based on an if. If that got out, then this green would have to get out to equalize the amount that got out. I don't know. I don't know. That's not quite it. Oh, you muppet. It's these letters that I've put into column 4. That can't combine with A there. I can draw a line. Muppetry. There, because these 2 dominoes can't join together, because there'd be 2 A's in them, and B there. Oh man, assuming this is right, I can draw a line down there and a line down there. Now I might be able to finish off. That becomes a 4 by 1, that becomes a 4 by 1, this becomes a 2 by 2, this is a 2 by 2, that's a 2 by 2. There we go. That's the southeast done, which I thought would be harder. Now, that's clearly a 4 by 1. This is another 4 by 1. These are 2 by 2s, and we're left with a 4 by 1. Wow. Yes. Now, I can letter column 2 because that B sees this cell. So the purples aren't B's in column 2. I'm not sure I can letter columns 1 and 3 yet, which feels weird. Maybe I go back to this. Yes, B is 3 or 4, isn't it? So this is not C, which is 2 or 3. Oh, that's beautiful. This is D, and that's how we do it here. What a puzzle. I had no conception that the setup to this puzzle could possibly allow this sort of solve. This has blown my little tiny mind. Right, now in this one, this can't be C, so I can colour the greens as in column 3 as not C, and the purples as not D. And there we go. We've tiled the whole grid. I'm going to be finished in about 2 minutes, which is weird, but I think it's true. So this digit is 3 or 4, and all D's are 3. In fact, no, this is 4, isn't it? Because it has to be bigger than that, which is 3. That is 3 and has to be bigger than that, which is 2. That, which is 2, has to be bigger than that, which is 1. And now we know that all A's are 1s. I need to be in the different setting, and I can just populate them with 1s. All B's are 3s, so we'll highlight the B's and make them 3s. All D's are 4s. Oh, I have to keep flipping. All D's are 4s. And I'm literally going to finish the puzzle now. This is so bizarre. All C's are 2s. There we go. The puzzle solved. That's crazy times. Build it yourself, Suguru. What a remarkable thing. I'm sorry about the colouring. It got very inconsistent. I mean, it was all done for reasons. But my plan of colouring individual regions in individual colours utterly failed. It was much more important to do these dominoes. Look, all the green dominoes are either 4-3 or 4-1 in order. Let's just make those two green to get the consistency, and all the purple dominoes are either 2-1 or 2-3. It's such a puzzle. What an intriguing adventure. Thank you for watching. See you again on the channel soon. What a bunch of epiphanies. See you soon. Bye for now.